Hey everybody, welcome to How I See It with Kevin Levrone, starring Kevin Levrone. This is a special edition. This is the last episode before Kevin flies all the way to Melbourne, Australia for the final contest of a bodybuilding career, competitive career that began in 1990, right, Kevin?
Yes, 1990.
28 years, 28 years.
At the juniors, on the nationals.
Yeah. No,
Juniors,
you won the
1990.
junior, 91 you won juniors and the nationals. 90 you were just a little state level guy, you know.
Yeah, right here in Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah. But,
Mr. Maryland, 1990.
I remember working for Lou Wick at the American Sports Network, and a big pack of pictures came in. I think you were getting ready for juniors. I was like, oh my God, who's this guy? You know, nobody.
Yeah, those were the days.
Nobody knew who you were yet, but yeah, they sure knew after that. All right. So, yeah, when do you fly out to Australia, Kevin?
I talked to Tony. I'm leaving. I'll get there on Thursday.
Yeah.
I'll get in Australia on Thursday, and we have off on Friday, and then the show starts Saturday.
Yeah. I'm going to be
I mean, I told him I just want to fly in at the last minute if possible.
Yeah, it's a long flight. Is it direct flight for you?
From here to California, from California to Australia.
Ooh. I'd say bring a snack.
That's okay, man. I mean, you got to think, Ron, for the last 2 years, 3 years when I was building my supplement company, I've been in over 50 different countries, you know, from China to India to Egypt. Those are pretty long flights.
I'm sure. Yeah, you're no stranger.
Kind of used to it, you know. And then you get there, you know, you're on the ground. I did a tour through Russia for about 2 weeks, you know, from one end of the Russia to the other side, northeast, south.
Wow.
You know, just so constantly moving and moving. I mean, this stuff is flying it's no big deal for me because we did it after the Olympias, even when we had the tours.
Yeah.
You know, we would go do 6 shows in a matter of 2 weeks, so it's okay. I'd rather fly in and get out as soon as possible.
All right. All right, so I'm going to get right into some questions. This is the last batch of questions that you guys had a chance to get to before he takes off. So, first one comes from Ben Matheson. When you talk to Kevin Levrone, let him know that his training journey has really inspired me as well. I feel like I'm coming back as well and almost have the same training enthusiasm that I had in the 90s and early 2000s. His faith in God, dedication to intense training, and belief that he can do it are the foundation that dreams are built on, and he is demonstrating it perfectly. I'm looking forward to his show in Australia. I'm also hoping that he continues to train and stays well within a 4-month striking distance of competing again, if he decides to, in the next few years. Hopefully the 2018 Olympia. Thanks again, Ben.
Thanks a lot, Ben. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
A common thread you'll be hearing is 2018 Olympia as we go on with these, as you'll see. Ruben wants to know, please ask him about his capacity to forgive individuals who publicly pull him down. Did he teach himself to do this, or did he work at it because of his beliefs? Also, please ask him to talk about how he spiritually overcame the negativity on his return, a triumph in itself. So yeah, a lot of people do talk negatively about you and disparage your comeback and say, Kevin can't do this, he's going to look like crap. You know, how do you deal with all that? How do you forgive these people they're just not being nice? They're being very negative towards you.
I don't feed into negativity, and if I see something like that, it honestly fuels me to prove to them that the impossible can be done. I think my faith that I have in God is, you know, comes from when my father died when I was a kid. You know, I was one of the fewer kids growing up in that neighborhood with no father. And I think that kind of made me look towards, no matter what happens to you, they laughed at me in school, you know, because of that reason. And I still continue to move on and make something out of myself. So I think that kind of built a strength in me, knowing that, you know, God had a greater plan, even though he took my father. So it's like, Nobody's life is going to be perfect, no matter what you're faced with. There's some people out there missing limbs. Some people don't have any parents at all.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're probably laughed at and poked at and things like this too. But it doesn't matter if someone has a perfect life. What is a perfect life? Or perfect opportunity? Does being young make you perfect? No. Does being 50 means that you can't do something? No. If you have two parents, it doesn't mean that you're going to be successful as a person or as an individual who doesn't have any parents. So for me, it doesn't matter what people say. I always believe that, God had a greater plan for my life like he did when I was a kid. There was no instructions for me, Ron, when I went to turn pro and I wanted to turn pro.
Yeah.
I had to kind of figure those things out on my own and try to find a way to make it happen because I was one of the fewer people here in Baltimore, Maryland. Vince Taylor was the first, but I was the second to actually make it to that level, on the pro level. I mean, there was no handbook written manual, and people thought I was strange walking around big that size looking at you. I mean, you're going to be faced with those things. But I do believe that, my faith and belief in God and reading the Bible keeps me grounded, and also being able to forgive people who do you wrong, who hurt you, who these things. It's very powerful as a man to just forgive and to continue to love someone no matter what they do to you, because at the end of the day, everything's going to work out for the greater good as long as you just stay focused on God. Yeah, they mocked at me, they laughed at me, whatever, but here I am coming back in 2018 better than I was in 2016. So I take all those adversities and all these things and I turn it into something positive, not only for me, but for everyone out there going through something. Yeah, I'm Kevin Levrone. I have one of the best records in pro bodybuilding history, but it's because I didn't stop. I didn't quit. People thought it was weird back then for me to turn pro. How do you make money? How do you do this? But if you have that belief in your heart, that little flame, that little fire, continue to move forward, guys, no matter what people say, because in the end, you're going to make it, and you're going to have the last words. And I'll have the last words a week from now in Australia.
Right. All right, and a few questions from a regular question contributor here, Sid from Bangalore, India. Number one, first thing is a request for Kevin. I personally feel that Kevin's last show should be the Mr. Olympia 2018. I like the way you think, Sid, because back in 2016, he was not 100%. Since he is in great shape now, I believe God has given Kevin a desire to come back at this age, and it's probably to achieve something that a normal 53-year-old can't do. So, as Kevin said, if he places in the top 3 at Arnold Classic, please, please, please do the Mr. Olympia 2018. Three pleases.
Yeah, I know. Sid, I mean, I've gotten second in Olympia 4 times. For me, this comeback isn't about the Olympia or winning the Olympia or anything like that. It's just been about following through with your dreams, or that little flame, that fire that you have deep down inside of you, and you want to just give it one more shot, And I think I've already inspired so many people, and as well as you guys inspired me around the world. This is something that the fans wanted. They've been asking me this for about 8 years since I walked off stage, and I'm over 50 years old. I certainly gave it my best shot this time. I'm not Kevin Levrone that I used to be, 20 some years ago when I would compete, but I can give you, I'm going to be 80% of that guy when I was at my best, where the chips falls up to the judges and everything. I'm competing against myself at this time and point in life.
Yeah.
And I'm also out there just saying that, age is just a number. As long as you believe, you can get up and you still can do it. I mean, I'm benching 500 pounds and just doing everything that I normally would do. It's a little harder. You're dealing with. It's just a little more harder, a little more. You got to dig a little deeper, because you are fighting against time. Put it that way. There's no purpose to me really going to move forward doing the Mr. Olympia. I just want to see if I crack the top 6. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy regardless. But if I crack the top 6, that's like, wow, I'll be blown away. So didn't shortchange myself. I did everything possibly that I could, working with Woosley Performance going into this Arnold Classic, and I'm just happy to have the opportunity to walk on stage, not for me, but for my fans, and give it my best shot for you guys out there.
And I think it's to your credit, you documented so much of your prep, so much of your training on your Instagram and where else did you put it? You have your YouTube channel too, right?
Yeah, YouTube and Facebook and everything. And, all that being said, I want to say thanks to my sponsors. This will be the last time that I have to thank you guys before I walk on stage in Australia. Big shout out to Cardillo, man.
Oh, yeah.
Ron, you know him.
Steve Cardillo, yeah.
Steve sent me some sleeves for my legs, the workout belts, the grips, the everything. Steve, I want to say thank you so much, man. My company, of course, we didn't have this back in the day. Levrone Creatine, Levrone Signature Series wasn't even out, so I'm able to take the BCAAs and things that my body need at this age to help recover. XL Fitness, I didn't train in XL Fitness back in the day. I had my own gym, World Gym Fitness Center. Now I'm training at XL. All those guys over there support me. Bobby, your team, John Arallo, just everybody over there, Scott Rayner. I just want to say thanks. Cool. Sorry about that.
No
Got a call that came in.
It happens.
I just want to say thanks to everyone out there, all my sponsors and everybody, guys. Couldn't have did it without you guys. Jimmy Seafood.
Jimmy Seafood. I was going to say, what about the food?
Jimmy Seafood definitely makes all my meals, which back in the day we had to make them ourselves. Woosley Performance, Chuck, the guys down in Nashville, certainly stayed on top of my blood work. These things we didn't have back in the day. And I want to say thanks to my team. Thanks to Steve Blackman, Muscular Development. You guys believing in me, giving me this opportunity to reach out and communicate with my fans. And last but not least, my fans. Thanks to all you guys for showing an interest in me. Still, even long after I retired in 2003, you guys are still there pushing me. And I'll be remembering every last one of you guys as I'm going through my posing routines and pulling my mandatory poses on stage in 7 more days.
I know. All right, rolling on right on Sid's questions. She wasn't done yet. Kevin, 2 weeks out, that pic of your triceps on Instagram looks huge. Well, you've always been known for your triceps. So his next question, you lift heavy. So what's the maximum weight you can do a barbell curl for biceps?
I haven't tried it. I haven't tried it, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that for anybody watching this. Unless you really want to tear your bicep. Would you still maintain, you've answered this before. After the show, are you still going to maintain this size?
I'll drop down, be about 240 in the 40s, I guess.
Yeah,
looking in shape and thick and full. I like the way it feels.
Yeah, I mean 260 is a little. To maintain that forever would be quite an effort, I'm sure, in the 260s. And that's lean 260s, not a sloppy 260. Let's see. Last year after the Olympia, Flex Wheeler in an interview said he would like to see Kevin and himself battling out one more time. And he's looking forward to gain some size. What's Kevin's thoughts on that? But then he keeps going. I believe you're friends with most of the 90s bodybuilders. Most of them look like they can still get back in shape. So can we ever see a possible comeback for a show for charity where all the 90s bodybuilders are back at it? Flex, Kevin, Chris Cormier, Sean Ray, Dexter. It'll be fun to watch. I don't know why.
Sounds like fun.
It would be fun.
Sounds like fun, but it's a lot of hard work. I don't know if those guys want to put that kind of work in. Trust me.
I don't think Sean has any interest at all, for one thing. Chris is all jacked up, his back and everything. That's not going to happen. Yeah, Flex, I don't know. It's a nice thing to think about, but yeah.
Yeah.
Will you be attempting to break the bench press record this year?
I will be going after that, yes, for my age category, yes.
So, is there a weight limit for that or no?
Yeah, you have to be in the 242s, 245, 242 class. And right now it's 515, I think.
You're doing that in the gym right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So safe to say if you could eat some more food and carbs and all that. Bench press record?
No, I have to lose weight, actually.
Oh, yeah, you would have to lose some weight.
Yeah.
Feeling confident. Last question from Sid. Are you on point going to Arnold Classic? Are you feeling confident? How's the journey been so far?
Sid's, every day brings something new. Went in the gym last night. I wanted to see if I lost any muscle size or if I lost any muscle. And in order for me to do that, I got to try to see how strong I am. So last night I was in the gym. I don't know if you guys saw the videos or anything, but I inclined 405 for 4 reps last night. Just kind of see where I was. And that's an indication that I haven't lost any muscle size. So it's still there. But, as a bodybuilder, we do have to, I'm going to have to come down. I didn't want to start depleting myself too soon. I'm a lot older now. The body is different. The things that I used to do 2002, 2009, in the 90s and 2000, I can't do those things now. I can't diet the way I used to. So there's things that have certainly changed about my physique that I have to be very, very careful when I start depleting myself, because I will lose 15 pounds, 10 pounds really fast. And, when you get older, it's harder for your body to hold on to that muscle size, that thickness, that fullness, because our skin gets thin, and you start looking really, really lean, but that muscle mass isn't there anymore. Luckily, we found a way to hold on to that with Woosley Performance. And this is the learning curve for me going into this last week. Hopefully I can dial it in.
Yeah, I mean,
So
why
we're
do
gonna see.
you still need to do the depletion thing? Have you always done that like the last week, or have you ever tried just cruising right along?
Yeah, well, I've always, when I dropped the carbs out, there was times when I was overseas, Ron,
Yeah.
where I would drop carbs out for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. There's always, like, sometimes I would drop carbs out for 2 weeks. Sometimes I would keep them in, depending if I felt like I was really, really depleted, then no, I would have to eat up. One thing you don't want to do is wake up the morning of a show and you're too drawn down and you got to eat to play catch up underneath those lights. When you walk underneath those lights, you cannot be 100% depleted or 100% ripped and shredded, because when you walk underneath those lights, you're not going to have anything left to fight with. You can lose 5 pounds between prejudging and the night show and come back and you've, and some guys come back looking flat. Some guys get flat as prejudging goes along. They come out looking great, but they can't hold a palm.
Yeah.
So for me, I've always had the type of physique to where I've always gotten better as the show went on.
Yeah.
So I got to be somewhat within striking range when prejudging starts. I'm not going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bam, But as the show goes,
yeah,
things are going to get lit up more and more and more and more. That's just my genetic.
Yeah.
That's what happens. It always happens. I remember on one of the Olympias, I was in 6th place, I think, after prejudging. I moved all the way up to 2nd.
Wow.
And this show, they're actually posing. They're going to, I think they're scoring the posing round.
Yeah, it's an
at the Arnold Classic. So, it's going to be very, very interesting. And again, you got to think that Flex Wheeler, Sean Ray, myself, Chris Cormier, these are different types of physiques that I'm dealing with now. Back in the day, it's different than the guys now. These guys now are bigger, they're thicker, they're fuller. I mean, they're carrying a lot more thickness and fullness and size. They really are.
Sure.
So I can't come out there ripped and shredded to the bone and looking streamlined, because that's not going to overpower these guys. So I got to come out there being smart, knowing that what I have going for me is my shape.
Yeah.
I have that size, so I gotta somewhat bring that package of the shape, the fullness, the thickness, the density with that size.
Yeah.
And I can't drop down. I can't drop down in the 30s, 230, 236, and do that. I can't, because you got Bonek there, who's just I mean, the guy is just thick. He's full. He's compact.
Yeah.
You understand?
He's 230 and he's probably about 5'6".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though you look at him, and I was looking at him like, oh, well, this guy's got his glutes ripped.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's just a
he's
whole different look that these guys have now,
Yeah.
but I'm going to try my best to do my best. And for me, this is about being better than I was in 2016, but also knowing that I am a competitor. And I'm not just walking out on stage. And I just want to let you guys know, I'm not just walking out on stage just to be there and take up space.
Right.
In the morning when I wake up and I look down and if some things is going on, what I expect to be going on, then things are going to click and it's going to be on. So right now I'm just staying humble, doing what I need to do to make it to the stage and mapping this plan out in my head as we go along. I mean, like I said, I'm over 50 now. I'm no spring chicken. So there's not a lot of room for mistaken error. This is my last show, so I won't have a chance to do it. So the fans, you guys want me to go out there big, thick, and full blown?
Yeah.
Or do you guys want me to go out there ripped, shredded, streamlined?
Both.
You understand?
You
You
want it
follow what
all.
I'm saying, right?
Well, the fans don't want you to stop competing, period. I think all these questions bear that out, but
Yeah.
gotta live your life. Life's
But look,
life.
guys, I'll be doing a tour through Russia. I'll be guest posing through Russia when I go on tour out there in these countries with my supplement company and that stuff. I told you guys I'll be out there. I'll be guest posing, so I'm available for guest posings. Matter of fact, I'm coming back to Maryland on the 24th, and I'll be posing at one of Rich Singelman's shows here in Maryland.
Okay, cool. All right,
The
so
Gladiator.
you threw up an Instagram post to tell people to get some questions in, so I threw up a thread, and we did get some last-minute questions in from the people. Core Train, first question, what body weight are you aiming for at the Australia show?
Body weight.
Yeah.
I'm just not even going to say that right now.
That's okay. Whatever.
But I do want to say
Yeah.
that, I mean, it's a good question. I don't know. I'm not going to be small.
Well, I mean, people always want to know exactly what you weighed on stage. I mean,
it doesn't matter.
It does. I mean, last time we talked, you were like 263, 264. That was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be lean and tight and dry.
Yeah, you can't. I'm not going to be on stage 260s. No,
It's got to be a good 10 pounds less than that or so.
I'm coming down. Coming down gradually each day now. But size, guys, keep the size. Get the size out of your head.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because you see some guys out there in the gym. They look huge, but you put them on stage, and because they're too big, there's no flow. There's no air to breathe. There's no room. There's no separation between the joints and tie-ins. It's just one big glob of muscle. So, we don't want to make that mistake in the Levrone camp for sure. In order for me to pose the way that I like to pose and the way that I feel comfortable in my body, that range for me is certainly, in the middle to high 40s. To be honest with you, where I can twist and strike them poses that I need to hit.
Yeah.
Feel comfortable going into them and everything. So we have some size to play with, some margin right there to adjust things and to play with. So I'll just see what happens when I wake up that morning.
Okay. He also wanted to know about the Olympian. I tell you, everyone asks that. But from D. Bishop, and this was his first post, which means he joined the MD Forum specifically to ask you a question. So thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Let's see. He said, I compete myself and just won my first overall last summer in a Chad Nichols show. Kevin, I have a question about training and competing in your 50s versus your 20s and 30s. To me, your muscle mass seems to be close to what it was in the late 90s. Do you notice a difference with how your skin lays over the muscle then compared to now? In other words, skin elasticity. Also, please know that you're a huge inspiration to me. Thank you for praising God and using your gifts to promote God in people's lives.
Yeah.
So
You do see a difference. Of course, you see a difference. You see a difference in your body. You feel a difference in how you feel. You do feel it. You just have to continue to move forward. And I think from the help, knowing that I'm not alone in doing this, that I do have fans and people around the world depending on me so much, it gives me the willpower to not quit because I'm not doing this alone and I'm not doing it for myself. And it is. Sorry about that, guys.
it's okay. Someone called you again.
It's challenging. It's very challenging. But if something in life wasn't challenging, it wouldn't be worth it. Every competition that I've absolutely did was very, very challenging. They all were very, very challenging, And this is just another challenge at a different age in my life. Life is challenging.
Right.
I don't know anywhere in life where you just let off the gas and you can just press cruise control in any sport,
Right.
Yeah, it's just this is it. I mean, it's the mindset, everything. Going back to that place of sometimes you starve yourself. Just the one thing I try not to do is to second guess myself, because you've done it so much. But again, it's like this is a different body, different approach. So we've had to change a lot of things differently. But you just can't quit, man. You got to move forward. I just want to walk out on stage and be able to do a posing routine and have it pretty much bad to the bone. You know what I mean?
Sure will.
And so I just want to. That's what I want more than anything. I think that's what I miss more than anything. It's not the prejudge, it ain't this. It's just being out on stage, knowing you're underneath those lights, and that music is just thumping, man. And when you go into them poses and transitions and stuff like that, that the crowd is cheering you on, and you can just hear it, man. It's just bam. That's what I want, And to get to that place, you got to be in shape. You just got to be 100%, full mind, body, and spirit, man. So that's what I want.
Now, as a footnote, the music, you guys are gonna have to wait until the webcast, or if you're lucky enough to be there, you'll find out.
The three choices, right? Who's got my back now?
Yeah.
Sound of Silence, and then Godsmack.
I Stand
Alone.
Yeah, that's a good one from the Scorpion King soundtrack.
Yeah, absolutely. What I think is going to happen, I'm going to walk out there. I'm going to go into the auditorium the night before Friday and play that music when it's completely empty and tell them to crank it up, and I can walk back and look at that stage and I can start visualizing how it's going to be, and then I'll decide.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, now I saved this for last. This was from your Instagram. There was comments from one of your Instagram followers, of which you have like 500,000 or more, 770,000. You have a lot. Anyway, his name is Rafa_315. And he writes, "You gave me the motivation to get back to the gym again after I became paraplegic. Now my nerve endings are reconnecting because of the hard workouts at Kevin Levrone. I'm able to walk with crutches again, being motivated by your videos." Wow.
Yeah, praise God. Praise God, man.
Wow.
Praise God. Praise God. There's something bigger than selfishness going on here. In order... that right there completely let me know that, man, whatever you're doing, it's not about you, Levrone. It's about the influence that you can give to people. And I feel honored that God has chosen me to be able to do that, to have someone talk about, their struggles and how I've encouraged them to get over this, or find their way to be better. I mean, I just thank God for what He's given me, the gift to do that, Ron. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
You
I've heard people that were, depressed or some injury or something, but this is a whole other level. I don't like to throw the word miracle around too often, but that's miraculous. So yeah, certainly there's some forces at work here. If you don't believe in a higher power, I mean, something like that should make you believe.
Yeah.
This isn't all random, and this isn't all, like you said, this isn't just about your journey. This is about the way it's
No, it's not. It's not,
able to
man.
influence and to help other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's powerful.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
going to wrap it up, Kevin. This is it for you before you take off. The next time I talk to you will be after the show.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, brother.
Wish you the best of luck. I'm going to stay up all night to watch the webcast because the stupid time difference. You're going to be on stage at like 2 or 3 in the morning over here on the East Coast, I believe, on a Friday night because they're like 15 hours ahead.
Yes.
Good daylight savings tonight kind of throws things in. But yeah, can't wait to see you, dude. I wish I was going to be there in person, but I'll be watching.
I'll be representing all the boys from the 90s and everyone. I just want to say thanks, guys, for all your support. All the other bodybuilders, former guys that I competed against. This one's for you, baby. It's for all of us. Thank you.
All right, can we do the Shaboom thing one last time? Yeah.
You know how we're rolling. All the fans, to every MC that ever introduced me, to every expediter that told me where to stand, down to every light man with a plan, to every judge that has judged me, to every photographer and writer that poured his heart and souls out so that the world could see, and to all my fans and loved ones that cried for me, you know how we're rolling, baby. This one's for you.
Boom. All right, that has been How I See It with Kevin Levrone, brought to you by Levrone Supplements. Make sure and watch Kevin's final contest performance of a very long and excellent career next weekend on the webcast. And that's it. We'll talk to you guys later. Kevin, good luck, sir. Wishing you the very best.
Thanks, bro.